There's no feeling quite like seeing the product on the road as what we call in the wild. When I tell people where I work, the reactions are absolutely priceless.
A lot has happened over the last 10 years. We've evolved as a company.
This is actually the fun part of my job. Apart from just sitting in front of the desk and design the algorithm, I actually get to test it in front of a car, so that's really cool.
There wasn't an automotive company in our city at the time. It was never something we even thought was achievable. And so for it to be here now is absolutely amazing.
I used to work for a company making clutches for cars and tractors, and now I make supercars.
This is like where the wheels would go and your seats would be in here. Essentially everything is bolted on from this starting component. We have to really make sure that every part that we make is perfect.
Charlotte's our apprentice. I suppose the only downside to Charlotte is she sports Sheffiel Wednesday.
When I see one of our cars on the road, I can say that I was part of making that supercar. It's a nice feeling. I'm Claire Smith, I'm 31, and I am a team leader at McLaren Automotive in Sheffield. When we heard about McLaren coming to the local area, it was massive to us. We're not used to having such big companies like we're here. We're in like Rotherham, we're in Sheffield. We're not used to seeing supercars like this every day. So when I first got the phone call that I'd got offered the job at McLaren, the first person I told was my wife. I was on break at my previous job at the time. And I think, if I remember correctly, it was a night shift, so it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. But I rang her anyway. I woke her up, so she went best pleased. Coming here, you know, I think some people have the doubts when they come to certain places, but I've been able to be myself, being open about who I am. I was definitely made to feel welcome when I came here. I can totally be open and be who I want to be, which is nice. Nice to be accepted. All right. So this is basically the stacking area. So we're laying out carbon fibre material on the table to make sure that everything's in the right place where it should be, so it's in spec. You obviously start with like a kit of material, and we are binding it together to make it stronger. In essence, it will become stronger than steel. It's 2 times stronger than steel. It's basically the foundation for building the car. So this is one of our stacking irons. It basically heats up to 170 degrees. You're ironing, in an essence. You're ironing and binding parts together. Me personally, I find it quite therapeutic. I enjoy it. Some people, I don't know. I enjoy what I do. We're building a McLaren chassis that is going into a car that it's one of a kind. There's no other market having it. And I can say that I'm a part of a company that's doing something for the first time. Job done?
name's Harrison Vinyl and I'm 21 years old. I was 16 when I left school and I did an apprenticeship with a composites firm in Hillsborough. And then as soon as I heard McLaren were setting a facility up here, I applied as soon as I could. I love the cars that they make, and at 18 years old to come and join a company like this, I was so excited. There wasn't an automotive company in our city at the time. It was never something we even thought was achievable. And so for it to be here now is absolutely amazing. Sheffield's been making steel ever since the war. We've gone from making the best steel to the best chassis in the world. These are our chassis ready to be sent to Woking for building. And I'm currently conducting checks on the drilled holes to make sure they're measuring correctly, to make sure that the foundations of our car is as it should be. So my brother works as a process engineer. He's in the engineering team.
Hey up, pal.
All right, mate, how you doing?
Ah, not too bad, not too bad. Oh, what are these looking like?
Yeah, they're looking a lot better, actually. They're looking really good.
Nice, very nice.
Sam was being successful and, you know, wanted to follow in those footsteps a little bit. Don't like saying that in front of him.
So when Harrison first came here, you actually came into the team that I was part of before, the RTM team.
Yeah.
He was, what were you, 17, something like that? Maybe just turned 18, yeah? So, did all right for yourself, actually, didn't you? Did all right for yourself, yeah.
I like to think so. I think as I've got older, I've started planning my own visions, but as a child, I definitely always wanted to do what Sam did and be like Sam. When I was growing up, I did used to copy my big brother Sam quite a lot. In fact, it was a running joke in the family for a while. I think I've always, especially when I was a little kid, been slightly attached to you.
Do you remember when we used to make the uppers and the lowers for these?
Yeah, I do actually. They've got to be the best air brakes that have ever been on a McLaren.
Yeah, the old vinyl air brake.
Maybe I'm more finicky at times, but Harrison has a real eye for detail, which is sort of why he's gone into a quality role.
We kind of keep following each other, but then you've diverted off into quality and I've diverted off into engineering, probably so we're kept apart.
Thought I'd make my own foot tracks.
Yeah.
He's my big brother and I do look up to him, but I would never let him know that.
I'm really proud of him. I think he's taken the opportunities that have come to him and run with it himself. So, you know, he's maybe not followed in my footsteps, but gone down the same route that I have, but actually made it his own. He saw an opportunity and he went out and he took it, and you know, I'm really proud of that too. That you're doing things for yourself and you're interested in something.
My name's Charlotte, I'm 22 years old and I'm a maintenance technician apprentice. Morning.
Morning, Charlotte. You okay?
Not bad, thanks. Are you?
Not too bad. Good weekend?
Not bad.
How's college going, Charlotte?
All right. I'm just waiting for my endpoint assessment date now, basically. So.
And that's it then. You'll be fully qualified. Charlotte is our apprentice. Absolutely phenomenal. I'd say in, my 30 years, Charlotte is in the top 3 apprentices I've come across. So what's that, one a decade? It's quite phenomenal, I think, to be honest. I suppose the only downside to Charlotte is she sports Sheffiel Wednesday. No, only kidding. Can't all be Man U fans, can we, Charlotte?
No. No, we can't. And if I were a Manchester fan, I'd be a City fan anyway. So.
Oh, no, dirty blue.
I've been brought up in a automotive background and fixing things and tinkering with things. At the weekend, quite often as a family, we go drag racing at Santa Pod. My mum, my dad, my brother, his girlfriend, and it's all a family affair.
Family affair, yeah.
Are we all ready? Ready to rumble. As a child, I'd always be at garage or doing something with my dad. From being about 3 months old, I've been going to car shows and racing and that. I enjoyed it at first, but there was no like career progression really. That's when I started going to work with my brother.
We all our family being into cars and engineering, I almost feel like whether she knew it or not, that's the sort of route she ended up wanting to go down.
I enjoyed that 1 day a week more than I did my 4 days a week at nursery. The variety of work that I was doing, that's what appealed to me, as not every day is the same. Because I got the experience from being with my brother at work, that gave me a step above other people that might have just left school because they've got no experience.
The fact that she's working for a huge motor company like that, it's brilliant. The fact that she's got that opportunity. I'm really, really proud of my sister, what she's achieved.
Yeah, I love it, yeah. This is where I'll get all my work for the day.
Her admin is brilliant, and her organisational skills are second to none. They're absolutely brilliant.
I don't beat about bush, and I'll just say it how it is.
If you see Charlotte getting the whip out, whipping me, it's because I'm not pulling my weight a bit, so you might see that today.
I work in a methodical way to get things done.
Right, tremendous, Charlotte. We'll crack on.
Once blade's done, we'll do bed rotation after.
I'll crack on with Ed then.
This she's spreader, so this lays out the material ready to cut it.
First 2 weeks I worked with the others, didn't I? Then they put me with you for 12 months.
We've switched shifts around, haven't we, really? But us two have stuck together at the core of our shift.
Yeah, definitely.
So making sure that there's no damage.
Have you come across anything?
No, everything's fine so far.
As it should be. Excellent. Thanks, Charlotte.
We are a strong team, really. We're a very good team. We've got similar interests. We like our football, we like our motorsport. She's a worker, a good hard worker.
Having that working relationship, that you can have a laugh, but you know when you need to crack on and do stuff. And get things done.
For Charlotte, at her age now, has got a very mature head, because some of the young ones you work with, they don't seem to focus on just a job. They'll just wander away a bit and start chatting. As Charlotte is 100% focused, get the job done, crack on.
Okay.
Everything's
all
good.
Good?
Yeah, everything's good.
Brilliant.
We'll go on to
Excellent.
next job.
Okay, well done, Charlotte. Well done.
I'm very lucky with where I live in the Surrey Hills. I have an amazing commute to work. One of the great things about my job is being able to borrow the development cars. It's a very special car. I get a chance to bring the cars home occasionally. One of the things that's really important for me is to be able to understand how the product works, finding ways to make the cars more usable. Place to come and work. We've got the lake on the right-hand side, and we've got our own resident heron. What an amazing building, built by Sir Norman Foster. And here we are at work. So what you see here is the final product with its front crash structure, its rear frame, and its upper structure assembled on it. The product is now ready to go into general assembly for all of the final trim. I remember when we first started producing cars here, our first car took up very little space in this building, and therefore it was pretty empty. Now that we've launched Artura, as you can see, it's a very full factory. A lot has happened over the last 10 years. The change in the company, the change in this factory, it's been a long journey, it's been a challenging journey, but one that I'm really proud to have been part of.
Ten years ago, I hadn't heard of any female engineers. I was a massive F1 fan, so I grew up around Formula One, rallying, fishing, rugby, all the things girls shouldn't. So this is why I guess I'm a little bit different. My interests were few and far between when I was a young girl, so I found myself sat with the boys in my school talking about the local rally that happened on the weekend and tinkering with cars as opposed to talking about the usual stuff girls talk about. When I was younger, I definitely lacked the confidence that I probably am perceived to have right now. I was very shy, very in my box, and I didn't really know what an engineer was until I was probably about 18, and I'd heard that there was a particular female that had won as part of a Le Mans team as a race engineer. It wasn't until then I thought, that's cool. Is that an engineer? I want to be that person. It was a big moment for me to know I had that idea and that ambition and that vision that I wanted to be a female engineer. Once at university, I studied a Bachelor of Science in Motorsport Engineering because of my passion for motorsport. There was so many times that I was told that I wasn't good enough. You know, your feet are only small to get close to the oven, or what would you know, you should be in the kitchen. Just all those things. They were the tongue-in-cheek jokes that I look back on now that were so wrong. You have to work twice as hard to be recognised. By bringing women in and having that broad experience across different levels of business and having the diversity out there as well, those ideas from everyone's experience can come onto the table, and for that we make a greater product. We're down in production now, as you can see, and as you can hear it all going on around it. So all the cars come down here, they go down the line. It's hectic, as you can tell. There's a lot going on, super busy. Everyone is always on the go. Any issues, any clashes, any process issues, anything like that, first person they call in series is me. I come down, I'll rectify the issue, delegate a task out, etc. But it's my job essentially to make sure that all propulsion content for series is moving down the line. This is engine fit now, so the engine's going to go into the car. These guys then have got to plumb it all in, they've got to do up all the connectors, reroute all the harnessing. It's not an easy job, but that's why we've got the skilled technicians here today, make sure that goes in without any problems. What an achievement, seeing it here in production and seeing everyone, all the technicians working on it, up and in, every single one, up and in, no problems, just seamlessly, successfully, down the line every single time.
My name is Shihui Liu. I'm a principal engineer in electric drive controls. I'm from China. My job is basically to design the control systems. And this is actually the fun part of my job. Apart from just sitting in front of the desk and design the algorithm, I actually get to test it in front of car. So that's really cool. The whole software takes myself and my team to design for years, and it takes a lot of iterations just to think through the algorithm behind it and making sure all the components coordinate and work as it should. Coding is the mathematical representation of what you're trying to do. So at the moment, I'm building a prototype control software to represent what I want to control. Coding is using a language that the machine understands to instruct it to do the calculation that you want. From a very young age, I realized I'm very good at math. For me, math is beautiful because it provides a different dimension of language for you to explain the real world. It's like you can explain the world in poetry or in French, but also you can also explain the physical world in mathematics. I've been in England for 8 years almost. I very much enjoy working here. What I really like about working in England is that I get the chance to be really close with the nature. I came here when I graduated from my bachelor's degree, and I was awarded a scholarship for my master's degree here in Imperial College. I never imagined I would work in England. Since I was very young, I knew that I want to do engineering. My mother works in a university in China as the professor for mechanical engineering. When I was young, she used to take me to her laboratory to play with all the mechanical parts and to do the programming stuff. So it was natural for me to take on the engineering path. My mother was definitely the role model for me. It was always so natural to me that women can do engineering. There's nothing women can't do, yeah. My mom is really proud of me. I think there are more work to do to attract more women into engineering, especially in the UK.
Today we're on the way to an all-girls school, which obviously is quite special for me, to try and not influence, like I said, influence the decisions of girls going into it, but hopefully to give them something to think about. I'm a STEM ambassador, so STEM meaning science, technology, engineering and math.
This is a great opportunity to think about what you want to do for your futures. And so I warmly welcome Holly, who's going to talk to us about engineering. So welcome to Holly. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. How are we all? We good? Does anybody want to be an engineer? I can see one or two hands. Driving that equal playing field into the minds of people very early on is so important. How many of you are actually interested in cars? Cool. My aim is to have double the hands up at the end, okay? So when I was your age, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I try and give them a vision and an idea of what they can do. I spoke to my careers advisor and I said I want to do something with cars. And she said to me, you do know you'd be the only girl in the class, don't you? Can you imagine if someone said that to you now? I didn't have that in primary school, secondary school. So I take it on myself to say, you can do this. You can go into engineering. You can play with cars. You can play with the things that you think you shouldn't because society said you couldn't do so. That's all I want from you girls today is for you to have a vision. For you to walk out here and go, do you know what? I never thought about that. Would you like to sit in there? Do we take a bag? I'll take a bag for you. Have you sat in one of these before?
No.
These are the gear shifters. So you go up and down on them. Feel them?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, that's fine. Probably the most important thing for me when I come away from these events is not influencing the decisions of young girls, but giving them a direction. If I had this experience when I was 12 or 13, then I probably would have made better steps towards, achieving what I wanted. It's about inspiring the minds of young females and not having them, in their box, sort of like, I can't talk about it because, I'm meant to be doing this course, not what I want to do, which is where I was. And if they walked out that classroom and said, I think I might change, my career path, I think I might want to do this, this, or that, and give them an idea, that's my job done. 10-year-old Holly never thought she would be sat here doing this. It's a big deal. Yeah.
So today we have our company annual World Cup.
Keep going. Brilliant.
It's great to get everyone together to decompress a bit and take some of their energy out on a pitch and have a good game of football. We've got 12 teams here. We've got one team come down from Sheffield to join in, and the rest are from our headquarters in Woking.
Absolute chaos is happening today. It's hot, it's sweaty, it's very competitive.
The one thing football does bring out is a bit of healthy competition amongst ourselves.
Pause here. Oh, shut them doors!
Objective today is to win and take trophy back to Sheffield.
I think the Sheffield team will take every opportunity to beat their counterparts from Woking.
Come on, Claire, keep going.
It's very important to me to feel accepted as part of the team. It's why I am where I am today, and it's why I've gone from being a production operative when I first started to now being a team leader. And I think it's because, I've put the effort in and it's been recognised. I think previous companies that I've worked for, I think I've never really felt like a valued member of the team, and I think here it's very much, it's like family, really. I can safely say that if I keep going the way that I'm going, I'll finish out my career in McLaren.
Pause down. Finish!